Most people think power is about being the loudest in the room, the one with the final word, the one who shows up, makes noise, takes space, dominates. But real power? It's quiet. It doesn't beg. It doesn't explain itself. It doesn't chase validation or overcompensate. Real power lives in your silence, in your ability to walk away, in the restraint you show when your ego wants to react, but your peace matters more. We live in a world that glorifies constant engagement. Always responding, always being available, always proving you're unbothered, unaffected over it. But sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. Not because you're suppressing your truth, but because your energy is too valuable to keep feeding situations that no longer serve you. Not every battle needs your attention. Not every message deserves a reply. Not every person is entitled to access you just because they want to. Your silence is not a weakness, it's a boundary. It's you saying, I no longer over-explain myself to people committed to misunderstanding me. It's you saying, my peace costs too much to keep renting it out, to chaos. There is a sacred strength in learning how to pull your energy back, to stop pouring into spaces where it evaporates, to stop initiating, chasing, checking in, following up when it's no longer mutual. That shift is where your power begins. You start realizing that you don't need to chase closure. You don't need to argue to be heard. You don't need to constantly be seen to know you're worthy, because now your energy speaks for itself. People feel it when you change, when you stop engaging, when you no longer show up the way you used to, and the right ones will respect it. The wrong ones will try to test it. But your job is not to keep proving your worth to people who only noticed it when you withdrew. Your job is to know your worth so clearly that silence becomes your standard response when your boundaries are tested. And speaking of boundaries, talk about them honestly. Because many of us were never taught what a real boundary looks like. We were taught to people please, to avoid conflict, to be the nice one. And as a result, we overgive. We say yes when we mean no. We tolerate disrespect in the name of patience. We let people walk over us, then wonder why we feel so depleted. But boundaries are not walls. They're filters. They're not about keeping people out. They're about protecting your peace. They're the standards you set around your time, your energy, your space, your emotions, and they're not selfish. The moment you stop viewing boundaries as rejection and start seeing them as self-care, everything shifts. You stop trying to keep everyone happy. You stop feeling guilty for doing what's right for you. You stop abandoning yourself for the sake of being liked, because when you respect yourself, you teach others how to respect you. When you value your time, you stop tolerating inconsistency. When you trust your intuition, you stop explaining away red flags, and that kind of clarity, it's magnetic. You'll start attracting people who value honesty over convenience, who can sit in the silence with you, without needing constant reassurance, who see your boundaries not as rejection but as an invitation to meet you with respect. That's how your energy begins to shift. It's no longer scattered. It's not reactive. It's intentional. You no longer spend hours wondering why someone hasn't replied. You no longer keep proving your value with effort that isn't being matched. You no longer internalize someone's lack of effort as a reflection of your worth, because now you understand. You are the thermostat. You set the emotional temperature. You don't just react to whatever is thrown at you. You choose what you allow. You choose what you engage. You choose how you show up. And you do it from a place of sovereignty, not survival. That's what emotional maturity looks like, not needing to be loud, not needing to be understood by everyone, not needing to explain why you pulled back, why you said no, why you changed directions, because you know your why, and that's enough. And yes, people might fall away when you step into this version of yourself. People who are used to your constant availability, your instant replies. You're always forgiving, always trying, always explaining self. They might not understand the new you, the quieter you, the more grounded, more discerning, more boundaried you. But that's okay. You're not shrinking anymore to keep others comfortable, because now you've remembered something vital. Your energy is your currency. Where you place it determines your reality. Who you give it to determines how you feel about yourself. What you choose to no longer give it to, that's where your healing begins. The problem is, we leak energy when we try to fix, rescue, explain, or chase. When we stay connected to what drains us, just because we fear the space that comes after letting go. But space is not emptiness. It's potential. It's where clarity is born. It's where healing takes root. It's where you reconnect with your own power. So if you've been feeling drained, stuck, or unsured, it's time to stop pouring. Stop chasing. Stop filling every silence with words. Stop handing your peace to people who only show up when it's convenient. Instead, pull back. Reclaim your space. Let silence do the work. Let your boundaries be your language. Let your energy be your message. Let your peace be your response. Because the truth is, you don't need to force what's aligned. You don't need to beg to be respected. You don't need to explain to be understood. Your job is to protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. And once you start living that truth, something incredible happens. You stop attracting chaos. You stop tolerating confusion. You stop entertaining what no longer fits, and instead, you start calling in calm. You start feeling peace in your own presence. You start aligning with people who see you not just when you're performing, but when you're resting. You start realizing that the less you engage with what drains you, the more space you create for what fills you. And that's the whole point. You're not here to be consumed by noise, drained by people, or constantly in fight or flight mode. You're here to be whole, centered, rooted in your truth, and protective of your power. So if silence feels uncomfortable, let it teach you. If boundaries feel heavy, let them liberate you. If reclaiming your energy feels selfish, remind yourself, it's not your job to be everything for everyone. It's your job to be everything to yourself first. Because the moment you stop responding to what you've outgrown, you start attracting everything that was waiting for the real you to show up. And that's when your power becomes undeniable. Let me leave you with this. You don't need to chase what's already yours. You don't need to prove yourself to be loved. You don't need to abandon your truth to feel chosen. You are not here to beg for attention, to perform for connection, or to tolerate chaos in the name of keeping peace. You are here to remember who you are, to stand still long enough to feel your own worth, to speak less, listen more, and let your energy do the work. Because when you stop chasing and start aligning, attracting becomes natural. It becomes effortless. It becomes your new standard. And when that happens, when you embody that shift, everything around you begins to respond differently. So the next time you feel that urge to prove, to chase, to fix, pause, breathe, remember your power. You attract by being, not by begging. And if this message spoke to something deep inside you, then stay close, because this journey is just beginning and you're not alone. Follow, stay connected, and return to this space whenever you need a reminder of who you really are, because you're not here to chase love. You're here to become it. Let them find you aligned. Let them meet you whole. Let them feel your silence and still be drawn to your light.